Give a few minutes for people to stroll in and stuff, obviously. All right.
Do your thing.
Yeah, handle business.
See, I don't even have to be on it. Right up.
Exactly.
So this.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect for what I want. I always ask gentlemen to come with a collared shirt. All right. With the belt. So I'm gonna give some time for folks to roll in. You go handle biz, and then we'll get the interview going. I'm gonna handle this cup of tea here. Sheed was good. What's going on? Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor, Alonzo Hall. And I'm here today to whap and tap on your head with another ADH wealth solution. So as you guys know, I used to do the Friday night financials, and I kind of had to stop that because I didn't have enough people coming on as Friday evening guests. So what I decided to do today was to go work with another Black professional who works in the field of technically real estate, but in terms of renting apartments and luxury rentals. Callie, what's going on, Pooh Bear? Good to see you. Good to see you. Make sure you get in touch with me after because I want to get in contact with you. And I know we fell off a little bit. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy my content, be sure to hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. So what the today's topic, we're going to be talking about renting luxury apartments. Okay. Now we do a lot of talk about ownership, and I think people need to understand there are some differences in home ownership and rentals. Intellectual soapbox, what's going on? So let me tell you guys, I used to do real estate myself as well. I focused on the sales. And I have a lot of friends who focus on the sales. And yes, while owning a home is great, there's upsides and downsides to both owning and renting. So today we're going to talk about kind of the rental side of things as opposed to the ownership side of things. Now, when you're looking at ownership, yeah, it's great because it is yours. The downside to that is that it is yours. So what that means is if a toilet is broken and you have stuff backed up, you can't just call somebody and say, hey, my toilet's broken, stuff is backed up. Now, you can just call somebody. You can call up Roto-Rooter, but then Roto-Rooter will say, okay, we'll send the guy out. When they send that guy out, for him to look at your toilet is $75. Then that's for him to look at it and say, hey, you've got a problem. Here's your problem. I'll take $75, please. And then you'll pay him $75. And he'll say, well, your problem is this. I can do A, B, or C. A will cost you this much. B will cost you this much. And C, to actually fix it, will cost you this much. And there's nobody you can call and say, hey, this is fixed. This is ridiculous, which is why people end up getting mortgaged to the hilt. But there's also things in rentals where you have different tiers and levels. So you have a regular level of rental, which is what most people want to get out of in the rat race. But you do have a level of renting, which is luxury rentals, right? So these are people paying $3, $4, $5, $10, $20,000 a month for rent. And there's reasons behind that. I know a lot of, people who pay rent and pull in, $10, $20,000 a month. And they're paying large sums of money for rent because it's a little more convenient. And there's a lot of stuff that they don't have to deal with. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest here. It is a gentleman who's been leasing for a little while now, and he is my leasing professional here in Connecticut with luxury real estate. So without further ado, Mr. Devon Dodson.
How y'all doing? What's going on? How you doing? Okay?
I'm doing good. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Tired, but I'm good.
Tired, but good. All right, so let me see if I can push this back a little bit and get you in the camera. Let me see. So if you wouldn't mind, you want to just kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, what got you into this, what is your goals, things like that.
All right, so my name is Devon Dodson. I'm a leasing professional for the waypoint out here in Norwalk, Connecticut. Uh, Basically, what got me into this career field or job is I wanted to change from what I was doing. I was already in sales and I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to go into real estate. So I figured this would be the first step I would take. Um, in taking that step, I've learned a lot that I didn't think I would need to know as far as fair housing and everything else, how that, you know, how to talk to potential prospects and everything like that. Um, Personally, for me, being a leasing agent, I get to meet people from all walks of life, whether they be professionals as Alonzo here and myself, or whether they're, coming off a program or anything else like that. Now, where I work mostly for a high end place, which we do not disqualify anybody for any number of reasons unless you're disqualified because you cannot provide the adequate information that we need. Now, for you to get an apartment or a unit here, you need to make 2.5 times the rent. Background check must come back good. Your credit must be satisfactory. Um, Overall, you have to be in good standing with wherever you just came from. So that's pretty much, an outline of what I look for when I'm taking a prospect on a tour and showing him, my community. My community consists of 662 units. Uh, we have a swimming pool. We have a clubhouse, which we are in right now. We have two of them. We have two 24-hour gyms here. We have uh, probably 3 to 4 different rooftops. We host events for our residents here. As far as of this week, we're taking them to a restaurant to show our appreciation. We took them out a couple of weeks ago to show our appreciation to them. We host events for the kids. Basically, here, if I was to give you a rundown, our rundown will be application fees, security deposit, the normal things you would do if you were applying for a regular apartment.
So let's get to that because a lot of people, especially in the African American community, in our age range, 40 and under, have grown up kind of not quite knowing the protocol for apartments. I have a lot of people who they kind of just, friends and family and finagle things, or they know this guy, that guy. Is there like a checklist that you would recommend? Hey, listen, if you're going to look at leasing apartments, and let's look at it in the realm of what you do. Let's not waste your time with people who can't qualify. So these are people who are likely going to qualify.
So the
What do
first
they
thing
need?
I'm gonna tell you is you need to make 2.5 times the rent. So
Okay.
if I'm showing you maybe a 1 bedroom loft, that 1 bedroom loft probably goes for maybe 3485.
Mhm.
You need to make your gross need to be 2.5 times that.
So if it's
You have to be
basically
able to
thirty-six
pay
thousand,
for
you need to
that
make
unit
72.
for a year.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. So if you tell me if you're coming in with a budget of 2,500, I'm not going to tell you don't waste my time.
Mhm.
I'll happily show you the unit, but we have to be realistic here.
Mhm.
If you know that you cannot afford it coming in, lower that bar.
Mhm.
It's nothing wrong with getting a regular 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. I myself have went for places that I wasn't qualified for before.
Mhm.
So I understand, you don't want that letdown of I'm going here and I can potentially not get it. Have all your ducks in a row. You know, make sure that your credit history is good. Make sure your job history is good.
Mhm.
These are all things that you have to look for before you even come and talk to a person like me.
Okay.
Honestly, my thing is with people is I tell you from the gate what you need as far as your credit history and everything else, but I also tell you after you apply what you need because a lot of times people come in and they think it's just you apply, you put your deposit, you pay your application fee, and then that's it, you're approved, and that's no. You know,
There's more to it.
I wish it was as simple as that, but you know, I have to do the work after you apply. I have to reach out to your employer. I
Mm-hmm.
have to reach out to your landlord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I tell people if you could get me this information exactly when you apply, then you have a better chance of me getting you in at the time you want to get in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm waiting for you to give me all the information for where you stay and who's your property manager there, so I can reach out to them, so I can send over the documents I need to have signed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through that right now, where I have to take time out from doing something else with another customer, well, excuse me, with another prospect to handle something that should have been done within the first 24 hours. I tell you this, that way my job is not to make your job hard,
Mm-hmm.
it's to make it easier. But at the same time, if you make it hard for me to do my job, you can't expect a positive outcome during that time. If you're giving me a week, you need a week to get in, and I'm chasing you
Mm-hmm.
for 4 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then on that sixth day, I get the information. But on that sixth day, let's say it's a Saturday. A lot of places, a lot of management companies are not open.
Mm-hmm. So you aren't going to get to it on
So
Saturday.
now we have to push back. Now we pushing back that, or you pushing back that time. Now your rate for whatever rate you have right there. Let's say I get you in for 3,200.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility changing that date for you for your move-in. It can go up 500 to 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
The prices fluctuate in this economy. This is one thing that people have to understand. Back in the day, it was everybody was moving to the suburbs to get a house. Nowadays, the people that lives in the suburbs are moving to the city to be closer to their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the customers that I'm looking for because why? I know they're going to work somewhere in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not going to be hard for me to prove where they work as opposed to me having to go somewhere else and deal with somebody that's on the outskirts. Let's say you come from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
You come from Arizona. I have to make sure that your paperwork, the I's are dot,
Mm-hmm.
T's are crossed.
So what would a person, right, in terms of getting the I's dotted and the T's crossed, let's look at more of what the customer has to go through. So in terms of what the customer is dealing with, right? So you're making that experience because you guys haven't seen uh Henry God, what's going on? Henry God. Um, so I've actually got to see him do a tour. I actually toured this apartment complex myself because I'm in the market to either buy a house or probably get a new apartment because the apartment complex I live in, even though it's downtown New Haven, it's right next to Yale. It was luxury apartments 30 years ago. But now the area has changed so much. And again, one of those things is a lot of the suburb people are moving into the city. But you're also getting some of the people who were from the inner city who are moving out to the nicer downtown area that's being built out. But what I want to ask is, so when we're coming to get the tour, so let's say we know we have two times the rent. So if the rent is 30,000 a year, we need to make 60,000 a year, right? And then for paperwork, right? Because you said there's sometimes stuff that you need up front. Most people aren't aware. So this, for example, if I'm looking to lease a luxury apartment from this umbrella, but I'm in Texas, right? But same management company. I'm sure they have buildings all across the country. What do I need to come to? Obviously, I wouldn't be coming specifically to you if I'm in Texas, but what would I need to come to someone like you so that I don't waste their time in Texas?
So if I'm touring you and after we tour and you saying you want this apartment, the first thing I'm gonna tell you is depending if you work or don't.
Mhm.
If you don't work, I need 3 bank statements from you.
3 months of bank statements. Okay.
If you do work, I need 2 recent pay stubs.
Okay.
That's the simplest of the simplest right there.
Mhm.
Then on top of that, I let you know, okay, I need you to get in contact with whatever energy company is out here,
Mm-hmm.
because now you're going to need to set up two accounts. Depending on what community you in, some have electric stove and electric everything. This we have electricity and gas. So I need an account for your electricity and your gas. I will let you know too that you have to be prepared for your water and sewage bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what apartment you get in, how many people's in your apartment, that will let me know. So if it's you, your wife, let's say, and you have an animal.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're looking at, I'm gonna tell you off the bat, listen, it's $100 per applicant, 18 and over. That's already $200 for you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You have a cat,
Mm-hmm.
that's a $600 fee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you straight out.
Yeah.
Now, going forward, it's $60 a month for that animal.
Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I tell you, that way you can get your head wrapped around the numbers of what's coming out now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on whether whether a community has concessions or anything, like some companies you can go to and they'll have 1 month free,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's little stipulations behind that.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 1 month free, but you have to move in within 2 weeks of you being approved.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to move in within that 2 weeks of being approved, that means you know you have the time limit to get me this thing. So if I'm asking you, hey, give me your supervisor's email.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the email to your landlord.
Mm-hmm.
It's better if you get it, because why? You already have all the information there. Me, I have to hunt down. You can give me a phone number, but I still have to chase this person.
Right.
If you give me the email, it's easy for me to just send an email and, hey, I need this back ASAP.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, you got to call them. Hey, can I speak to
And then,
Bob? Hey, what do you want? I'm
you know
Bob.
how, and then for people that live in communities like this, or just in regular apartments, you understand how hard it is to get in contact sometimes with the leasing agents or the property manager.
Yeah.
It's just, let's be honest, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you can call a call and nobody pick up the phone. It's not, sometimes it has nothing to do with us not picking up the phone, but
There's somebody in front of your face right now, so I can't just be dealing with you and then be like, hold on. Hey, yeah, put out this fire. I got a fire right in front of me.
But the number one thing I will say is the presentation,
Mm-hmm.
because presentation is how you can get things done too. If you're telling them, and you're telling them with the urgency how they have to move,
Mm-hmm.
it helps them along the way, because then they see, all right, well, listen, this apartment is here for right now. You can get it to you. You can apply for it today, lock it in. If you don't, the next person come in. If they get it, then hey,
Right. Nothing I can do.
I kind of push them along just so they can, lock it in, because it has been times where I've had people and they waited, and either the price changed, because in this market it fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Okay.
That's, if I tell you anything, nothing is guaranteed.
Okay.
Our community here, we are pretty good at trying to will you in, let you know all the details from, hey, I need this from you. I need that from you. Listen, give me your bank statements. Give me your bank statements. Give me your pay stubs. Give me your job. Give me your landlord information. I'll do everything else from there. You must keep. How many cars do you have?
I have one, but
You
you
have
need to know
one?
that. Yeah.
Okay, so I need all your information for that vehicle. Now, are you getting another car? These are
Yeah.
questions that so you have one car, so it's $50 for park.
Okay.
You need to know this, right?
Yeah.
So also with a community like this, we host a lot of retail over here.
Mm.
So it's not just the apartments you're looking at. We have restaurants down here. We have uh, from dental to physical rehab to sleep disorder place. So this is really a community.
Mm.
When I tell you this is 662 units, but it's inside of a community, it's a community of 4 buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you to say which building you want. My job is just to show you what building from what you tell me, I feel would be best to serve you.
Okay.
Now,
So hold on. What it sounds like, ladies and gentlemen, from the so right here, uh, basically, he's already getting in real estate and doesn't know it, right? Why do I say that? Because the requirements that you need for an apartment are the exact same requirements that you're going to need to qualify for a mortgage. So again, you're going to need either 3 months bank statement if you're self-employed, or at least two most recent pay stubs. You're also going to want to have your tax returns. That's for an apartment or purchasing a house, right? You're going to want to have your ID and social for every person that's applying for the mortgage or for the apartment. Literally, applying for an apartment is applying for a mortgage. It's just that you're not going to own it. But believe it or not, renting an apartment, you actually have almost just as much ownership as someone who owns their house. And what do I mean when I say that? Prime example, and a lot of people don't know this, you actually have the right to withhold your rent if there's things that aren't fixed in your property. Now, he likely won't tell you that because he is the salesperson behind it, right? But you know me, I'm unorthodox. I like to make people's jobs harder than easier, because when you, the client, are 100% educated, it makes us, the professionals' job so much easier, right? Because now, if you know everything that he needs, what are you not going to do when you come see him? You're not going to waste his time. You're going to have everything ready for him, and you're going to say, hey, look, I want to move in next week. Here's all the paperwork. Here's the phone numbers for the people. Boom, boom, boom. And like he said, this isn't just for this location. This is if you're renting an apartment in any apartment complex as of today. This is pretty much how these things are going to go. Did you want to add anything else to that?
so another thing too is make sure wherever you go, regardless if it's here or you have renter's insurance. Number one thing, because anything can happen.
Yeah,
You know,
renter's insurance is very important.
what you think you're covered for, or what you think you don't need, if you lose it, you're going to feel it. That's hands down. Like I said, that's not for my company. I've been through it personally.
Mhm.
So I'm telling you this personally.
Yeah.
Do not sell yourself short, especially when we tell you. And the number one thing I think people don't do is read your lease.
Mm.
Read your lease. That is the number one thing I tell anybody. Don't just sign. Take your time and go through it, because there are policies put in place that could get you evicted if you do not follow through. Like no smoking.
Mhm.
That is a big, big thing in a lot of buildings nowadays.
Mhm.
Is they do not want smoking in the apartment. You know how it goes. You have the sprinklers in there now.
Mhm.
You have tenants above you or below you. If they smell it, they're going to rat you out. They'll take care. They'll take the camera, take a picture of you.
Mhm.
All the things. Follow the guidelines. Follow the protocols. Read the lease so you know what they are. Know what you're getting into. Know if this is the place for you, wherever it is that you're going. Don't look at one place. I always tell people look at least two or three.
Mhm.
Now, if you have a big community, I wouldn't just stop at one building. I would go, if it's 5 or 6 buildings in that community, go to at least three.
Mm. Okay, and why is that?
If you're going for one bedroom, look at it two.
Okay.
And this is why. For certain buildings, they have sister buildings. So you can kind of see what's been going on in one. Like sometimes an apartment will become available and a person just move out, you'll see everything you need to see from there.
Mm. Okay.
You'll see the upkeep and everything, if the paint's fading, because in these apartments, everything is supposed to be turned over and up to date.
Right.
Sometimes you don't see that. Not saying that's here, because my team here is great. I have a staff full of maintenance people, maintenance tech, that as soon as somebody move out, they're in there turning it over,
Okay.
making it ready. But I've been to buildings where as soon as you as soon as somebody move out, they want to get the next person right in,
Yeah.
and then now you have sprinkler heads off. You
Mhm.
have cabinet doors not opening.
Mhm.
You have closet doors that's stuck.
Mhm.
There are things you want, and if you look, that's why I say don't stop at one, because 9 times out of 10 they're only showing you the good ones
Okay.
or the ones they have prep.
Okay.
Throw them off. Can I see another one?
Okay.
Ask. Never be afraid to ask.
Never be afraid to ask.
Me personally, I take my time on my tours. I try to give you all the information. Hey, hello, my name is Devon.
Mm-hmm.
What are you interested in?
Mm.
Oh, I'm interested in a one bedroom. All right, one bedroom. What's our budget?
Mm-hmm.
That's your budget. Let's see if I can work with you with this budget. Now, if I don't have anything to show you, it's not because I don't want to show you. It's probably because I have people on notice.
Mm-hmm.
With buildings like this, it's very rarely you'll find any vacancies. More, you'll see probably 11 units that are vacant.
Hey,
And
Miss
then,
Queen.
hmm?
I was saying hi to.
So you probably have 11 units that are vacant,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of it is occupied.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So with the high end building is very tricky because, like I said, most of the time people in the high end building they want to stay there unless they're just using that to transition to get in a house,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people do
Mm-hmm.
because they feel this is where they want to start off
Mm-hmm.
to get they feel into what it's going to be like to actually have to pay their mortgage and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other people coming from houses, that's kind of the funny part because then you get the people that had houses and
And
then
want to get rid of
and
it.
they want to get rid of it and they come over here and it's kind of like they're downgrading a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you have to deal with them the same. You have to let them know what it is. Hey, complimentary coffee, complimentary hot chocolate or tea. Listen, we have rooftop features. We have a swimming pool. We have parking. We have parking in all of our buildings. You can have your guests in here. You can rent out. We have a rental station. If you want to rent a PS4 or virtual reality goggles, deep fryer.
Wow, okay. So always, 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 especially in luxury apartments, you want to ask them about their amenities, right? Like you said, always read the lease. Kay, what's going on, brother? Always read the lease, right? Because the lease is something that no matter where you are, you're gonna have to have. Other things he mentioned, no matter what you're looking at in apartments, you definitely want to throw the leasing professional off a little bit. Hey, listen, I know I said I'm interested in a one bedroom. Can you show me what a two bed looks like? Right. And then they'd be like, well, it might be outside of your budget. Well, my budget can possibly move depending on, I understand it's going to be more expensive. It's a two bed. So I understand that it's going to increase the cost. I'm just wondering what it looks like to weigh my options. And another thing, if you're in a community, tour more than one building because even though they're sister buildings or related buildings, there may be some slight differences. You might think the hallway is too bright or the hallway is too dark, or there might be a restaurant that's attached to it that certain smells come from that restaurant. Like I know in my apartment building, when I lived there years ago, there was an Indian restaurant there. Nothing wrong with Indian food, the food there is great, but the smells that used to come from there were sickening. Um, and that's and I was like, yo, we're paying way too much money in rent to have sickening smells. That restaurant is no longer there, but those are things that you want to check out. You also, and this I've learned from doing real estate and sales, right? But even when renting, you want to do this. And this is something you may want to also mention to your clients. They need to drive around the neighborhood. Okay, because this particular building looks great and there's a lot, you're not going to be in here all day. You got to go get groceries and things like that, unless it's like a senior community where they have everything literally right there. So, and even if everything is there, you still want to go around the neighborhood outside of the time that you have your tours. I'll give you an example. The apartment complex I live in is downtown New Haven by Yale University. The unfortunate part is that there are about 3 or 4 nightclubs in the area. So every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I get to hear the young 20 somethings, woo, nightclub, blah, 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 blah. And I'm paying, nearly $3,000 a month in rent. That's not something I want. Now, had I not moved in haste because of my situation, I would have been able to go around the neighborhood and be like, nah, I don't know that I want to live in this neighborhood because I don't want to go downstairs every day and see this, or I don't want to go downstairs every day and see that. Do you want to add anything to that?
So one of the things I do on my tour is I normally take people in this building to the roof
Mhm.
to give them a view of the area that they're going to be potentially living in.
Mhm.
I point out certain things like, hey, there's the mall there, a block and a half down, there's a park if you have kids, you know. Um, Fortunately for us around here, there's no clubs or none of that kind of stuff, but they do karaoke. Like my community, my community takes up a whole block. So within my community, I have restaurants. I have keep saying customer. I have prospects that come in, and if I show them a unit that's facing the courtyard where the restaurants is, the first thing they ask me is it noisy? Right?
Yeah.
Now, my answer to them is, you know what? On Friday and Saturday, they do karaoke.
Mm.
That's being honest,
Yeah.
you know, because my thing is, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't. I I can sell anything, but the one thing I can sell is my honesty. Because if I tell you something, if you ask me and I tell you the truth, if I leave this and go somewhere else, like I was doing storage before, one of my customers for storage lives in my community. We built a rapport. She knew how honest I was from then. So she knows she can come and ask me, and I'm gonna tell her what it is. Should you get this unit or that unit? And that's another thing. You want to build rapport with the people that you're trusting with your information. Like that's one thing. Once you give me your social, your ID, you're trusting me to do what's right with that information, right?
Right.
Like it's my job is to show you that all right, even if I can't get you in now, your information is still safe. I'm going above and beyond to make sure that all right, in the future, if something comes up, you're the first person I'm gonna call. Your information is still good. You don't have to worry about it being leaked out because I've heard that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've heard at place at where I used to live, the property manager there was leaking out information. I don't need that. I don't want that to be a stressful type of situation for you to have to worry about. I want you to be comfortable. As soon as you came in, what did I offer you? You want something to drink? Everything good? It's too hot, it's too cold. What do you want to see? You take your time. Take a video. I tell anybody, take a picture, take a video. Then if you're going to vet this place, and I know you're vetting other places too, at least I had a person come in today that said they didn't even want to, the place she was looking at, they didn't want to take her on a tour. And she was a walk-in for me. And as soon as she walked in, I went through my whole script. Hey, what do you want to see? Well, I want to see this. Took her to what she wanted to see. Took her a little extra. I showed her our model. I don't ask people what they like about because to me, it's not what you like, it's about what you don't like. So I can try to put you in something that you like. What don't you like about this? I asked you, what do you like about that? Oh, well, you know, this is close to the door. I don't like the washer and dryer close to the door or the windows. I don't want to face another apartment and have them looking in. You know what I mean? Stuff like that helps me help you. And then you feel better. Because first thing you're gonna be like, well, he didn't ask me what I like. He asked me what I didn't like, and now he put me in something that I like. So now, if I move on to this and I go into real estate, who are you coming to?
Possibly you, yeah, likely.
You know, it's building rapport. That's all. That's all I look at this job is building rapport. Because I like my job. I'm not gonna say I love my job. I like my job. I get to meet different people. I get to see different faces. Um, hear different stories, some sad, some is good. But as long as you know when you come in and I give you that paper and I tell you, well, this is what you have to pay, this is what the base rent is, this is what we are looking for, this is what you need to give me in order for us to expedite this quickly, and you follow through what I ask you, then it's smooth selling. I give you your keys, give you your transponder, give you your parking ID, take you to your new place. You shake my hand. You say, "Hey, Ron, thank you," and I'm happy with that. I'm cool because now I helped you I helped you get a place. And the best part about it is when I get the people that this is their first place.
Mm,
I don't, not to say I don't really care for the other people, but the people that it's their first place is different
it's a different feeling.
because
Yeah.
you know that feeling when you first bought your first car.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you when I bought my first car? I said, "Yo, I felt like I just sold my soul."
Yeah.
Right? So when I do that and they can shake my hand and they like it, and they see the view and it's everything. That's cool for me. You know, I'm old enough to actually like
Appreciate
sit
that.
back and appreciate, like, all right, you starting your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? And then you start your life in a nice place.
Yeah.
Unlike us that started in some
Some
bummy,
bullshit.
I'm cursing here.
Yeah.
Some bummy ass, crappy ass basement.
Yeah.
You remember the
I
basement?
got you. I remember them days, baby.
Like, you know what I mean? You starting off in a room, like, nah, they starting off good, and I want them to start off.
Yeah.
I want their first experience to be like, especially, no offense, it's no color, but if you're not this color,
Mhm.
I want you to look at me like, yo, you did right by me.
Yeah.
And if you are this color, I
Really
definitely
want you
want
to
you
look
be
at me like
yo,
he did
not
right by me.
fuck me over.
Yeah.
He did his job. He did his due diligence to make sure everything I wanted, I got.
There you go.
You know,
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a brief one today. I'm not going to go a whole hour. We've been going over a little over 30 minutes. We got some other business to get to. Before I do take off, I might take it around, if it's okay with Devin, take you guys around this room and let you see a little bit of this room. And then, other than that, we're going to sign off. Can we take a little tour around this room?
yeah, sure. So right now, this is our clubhouse here.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm
Basically, in
taping.
this community right here, we have two clubhouses. This is the bigger of the two. You can see we have a fire pit right here. We have multiple TVs in there.
Mhm.
Go around there just for you to sit. If you want to look out, we have Chase. We have the restaurants right here. As I was telling you, with a park down there.
Mhm.
For all my old school people,
Yeah.
if you want to play Donkey Kong or anything like Tetris, this is the gaming system. You know, we have two of them over here. We have a shuffleboard.
Oh,
for you.
shoot. The shuffleboard is
I'm
lit.
not a shuffleboard person, but I've seen it done, and hey,
Man.
give me the blue one. So we have a pool table also in here. Now, this, if you want to see me on this, this is what I will be.
Okay.
Now, like I said, for this clubhouse, normally what we tell the residents is normally you can have two guests in here. Anything more is considered a party. That's that is the gist of this clubhouse. Like I said, you can cook in here. We don't limit you to what you can do. If you need to use the stove, you can use the stove, the microwave. Everything is for our residents, I guess.
Okay.
Like, we do not hesitate to try to make everybody feel at home.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, me, I do everything in my power to make sure all my guests and all my residents here feel like this is a family because this is a community and these are the people that you will see every day in here. Right now, it's quiet. This is why I like this one because this is a quiet room. We have another one in the building across the street, which is attracts more traffic
Mm.
because it's by the pool.
It makes sense.
You know, but this is my clubhouse. I'm Devon. Hopefully, y'all can come in and see me. I am your leasing professional. This is my gig, and this is what I do.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, Kay. There we have it. We're learning a little bit about luxury leasing. If you are in the Connecticut area, I know, Kay, we had the young lady who was in Connecticut, and there's a few from your channel. And there's a lot of people in the tri-state area. I got a lot of people from New York, New Jersey, who may be wanting to move over to Connecticut. So, Devon, in the event that someone wants to get in contact with you, is there a way they can do that?
So you can call 203-957-7771, and that's speak to Devon.
Okay, you're going to have to do that all over again. 203
957
957
7771.
7771.
And that's for Devon.
And ask for Devon. Devon, the leasing specialist. All right. So that's his contact info in there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge. Accept the challenge. Salute.
White ass, because nobody like a stinky booty.